Scan Your Biscuits.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, human beings and all-betweens, welcome to Scan Your Biscuits. Our first guest is the delightful and delicious and dear friend, Blythe Pepino. And Blythe, I'm going to let you play a song to get us started, if that's okay. Please give it up for Blythe Pepino.
Speak to me, oh, speak to me, water. Call my name, call me under white mane, galloping after rolling waves, rolling thunder.
Blythe Pepino. Do you want to come and sit on the sofa, Blythe? There's a mic for you on the sofa. Blythe Pepino.
Hello.
It's all feeling, isn't it? There's a lot of feelings.
Feelings.
In the music you make.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There's an awful lot of feelings.
I thought you meant now. There are feelings.
There's a lot of feelings now too. But there's a lot of feelings in the music you make, and there's a lot of feelings in the way you sing. It feels like there's a very direct pipeline between the heart and the mouth.
Thank you.
Yeah. And is that, what's the journey to that? Is that something you've always had access to? Or is that something you've had to, is that a door you've had to prise open?
I think both things. I think when I was a little girl, singing was a very big release for me. It was quite stressful at times, my upbringing. So, and I grew up, some of my childhood was in Southwold, which is this very windy beachside village. And I'd go out for little walks with the dog usually. And it would be a good opportunity in the wind to sort of make big sound. So I grew a very big voice from a young age. But then later on, when I became an adult, I had no real control over it, I suppose, and the power. And also, I have a connective tissue disorder, which makes me susceptible to losing my voice. So I did a lot of that in my 20s, which was quite scary for me because my voice was my sort of power tool. It was a way of getting validation in many ways.
And did you, you had nodules or polyps, did you, at some point?
No, I didn't.
You didn't have that, but you did lose your voice.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I did lose my voice a lot, yeah. And then I found Priska, my teacher, and just went through a whole journey, really, of kind of connecting with my body, which I realised that in my 20s that I, in all kinds of different ways, I wasn't really connected to what was going on in my body. And since then, I feel like I've got a lot more of a connection with an understanding of how to channel the emotions. Yeah.
And so Priska is a teacher working in Belgium.
She was in Belgium. She's now in Amsterdam. Yeah.
No, in Amsterdam. That we've both actually been to work with. Like, thanks to Blythe, I was introduced to Priska as well, and it's a process of release and therapy as much as anything else, right? The work she
massive.
does.
Yes.
I remember being in one of her workshops. She was getting me to do this exercise where I was kind of just turning and flapping my arms while singing and weeping whilst I was singing. Has Priska been a huge presence for you and a huge
She's
kind
a
of
massive presence.
turning point for you? Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, she's a huge presence. I was gonna say, like, she's almost like a mother figure we've talked about that, me and Priska as well, because it's very easy when you find someone who's, I don't know if you guys have found a therapist that has particularly done something for you, but it's very easy to project a certain kind of love onto them. And I do love Priska very much. And at one point I was like, oh my God, you're the mum I never had. But yeah, she's a very, very amazing and very professional woman who's just incredibly good at what she does. And yeah, there's a lot of crying and laughing and release. And just understanding as well of the physics of what's going on in sound, which is really important for people to understand. And just how powerful we can be as humans with voices. You know, we're large mammals. We're really big mammals, and we can make huge sound.
And we can make our voices and our sound and ourselves incredibly small, right?
Yes.
And it's through obstacle. It's not because that's what or who we are. It's through obstacles that accumulate around our majesticness, right? And that's one of the things I was really struck with by Priska. And one of the things I really hear in your voice is like there's a clear channel between what is there and majestic and vast and wide and the voice itself. And it's so inspiring to hear that as a vocalist, you know. Yeah,
I think that often people are just trying to be polite a lot of the time. Yeah. There's a lot of us, and we live next door to each other and on top of each other a lot of the time. And I think people are, you know, being lovely to each other by keeping them selves small. But actually, sometimes that isn't lovely for ourselves. And it's really good to have an outlet for that. So yeah, I'm a big advocate for just doing lots of crying and laughing.
And how lucky those of us that have the space and live in the kind of spaces where we can laugh and cry and be noisy and aren't on top of each other and in each other's
Shambhala.
faces. Shambhala, yeah. It's making me think of an interview I did with a rapper called Lexa Moore, who's a brilliant rapper. And she has an incredibly quiet vocal style, just an incredibly delicate, quiet vocal style. And I was like, where did you come across this vocal style? She was like, listen, I grew up in a council flat with a tiny space with paper-thin walls. And the time I had to myself to record was in the nighttime, where my neighbours were sleeping and my sister was sleeping. So I had to be quiet, you know. And it's really interesting to me to hear the difference between the walks on Southwold Beach and, you know, being a space for you to find your voice.
Yeah, because the wind makes a helmet. It
Yeah.
makes like a helmet around your head. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
And then the kind of contrast between that and a small council flat with thin walls at 2:00 in the morning, and that being the only time and space. And I was really fortunate and privileged as well in that I had those kind of times and spaces as well to raise my voice and get loud, practice my raps into the wind on a cliff, you know, and that brings such a difference. It's amazing how the music we make reflects the spaces we are given to make it in. Yeah. One of the places that we have come across each other and shared stages and moments is through XR and the climate activism movement, the climate justice movement. And that's something you were really heavily involved in for quite a time, right?
Yeah.
Is that the same as the music for you? Or is that a world that's so tumultuous and difficult that the music has to be there to escape or as an alternate reality to fall into when you need it?
Yeah, I think I'm quite a disappointing activist, really. I've gone back into music because I couldn't handle it. I realised I had this thing that happened to me during COVID. I had an aortic dissection, which is this really intense thing that happens in your body to some people, and it very rarely happens to a younger person. And I discovered that I have this disorder as a result. And at that time, I think I was, you know, I'd done quite a fair bit of activism, hardly anything compared to some other people. But
there's always someone doing more.
There's always someone doing more,
That's
yes.
the thing when you do activism as well.
Yes.
It's not enough. There's someone doing more.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really handle that mindset anymore. I couldn't handle looking at it quite as deeply as I had. And I think I burnt out, essentially. So when that happened, I sort of took it as a message to chill the hell out. And so I did. And COVID was there at the same time. So again, it was just like perfect timing. So now music really is, it's I don't know. I guess it's part of my enjoyment of life that I'm getting back into a lot. So I'm just enjoying the music, basically. Yeah.
Without too much thought for how it can be a tool in the hands of the movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really, really hard
No
one
agenda.
to hold, isn't it? When you're carrying the knowledge of everything that's going on and all the collapse and all the, you know, the sort of peril that we're in. It can feel like an indulgence to be there. I'm going to write a song today. I could be strapping myself to I could be chaining myself to the Houses of Parliament, but I think I might, you know, just kind of explore the workings of my mind a bit. And that can feel like a really...
That's exactly what I sound like when I've decided to make a song.
You know what?
Uncanny.
But you know what I mean? It can feel like an indulgence and somehow a self-centered act.
I don't really feel like that anymore.
Okay, tell me about that. Tell me how you don't feel that. Because that's
I'm just
something that I feel about
enjoying
myself.
my selfishness quite a lot. I'm 37 now, and I've done a lot of worrying about whether I'm a good person. And I've decided I'm not a good person. And that feels a lot easier. It feels a lot easier to be a good person when I'm not worrying about being a good person. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's not the most heroic thing to say on a couch to the rest of Shambala. But I think I'm also kind of waiting. I feel like what I've learned is that people and this not people aren't necessarily going to enjoy listening to this, but I feel like change happens. It is difficult for people to change quickly, and it can happen, but I'm sort of waiting for that moment. And in the meantime, I'm going to make some nice music and party in a field, and also, you know, do some teaching and just generally be in the world and try and appreciate things, basically.
Can we hear another song, Blythe?
Yes.
Should we hear another song from Blythe Pepino? Yes, please. Thank you.
Just working out what I'm going to play for you. I'm going to play a little song called Easy, and it's all about family times. And I had a lovely gig at Chaiwalla, and this was a particular highlight for me. And it also made me realise that songs are different in every circumstance. And suddenly I was like, oh, this is about Shambala today. Yeah, here we go. With your mother on the left, your daddy on the right, nothing in the middle but a bare knuckle fight. You're dizzy all day, you're looking side to side, and they've been shouting all your life. No, it's not easy. No, it's not easy. We're all living day to day, trying to get along together. No, it's not easy. No, it's not easy. And we're all living day to day, trying to get along together. And they've been talking and talking and talking for hours. You wonder where the words going out of their mouths. Why it's so hard just to smile and play. And they've been shouting all your life. I could be easy. Yeah, I could be easy. But we're all living day to day, trying to get along together. I could be easy. Yes, I could be easy. We're all living day to day, trying to get along together. Now you're sitting in a car in a parking bay, rubber band brains all made of clay. You want to whisper words, I could try to explain, but you've been shouting all your life. I could be easy. Yes, I could be easy. We're all living day to day, trying to get along together. I could be easy. Yes, I could be easy. But we're all living day to day, trying to get along together. You know it's not easy. You know it's not easy. But we're all living day to day, trying to get along together. You know it's not easy. You know it's not easy. And we're all living day to day, trying to get along together. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha
Blythe Pepino. Come back to the sofa. Right now I'm on this delicious, sumptuous velour sofa with Blythe Pepino, and I'd like to know a little bit about Mesodorm. So that's a song I'm familiar with as a Mesodorm song. Mesodorm is your current main outlet, is that right?
Yes.
Tell me, who's Mesodorm? What? Why?
Oh, Macedom is a family. We're a 5-person band of my oldest friends. I think I met Aaron when I was 17.
Brilliant.
And we've always played music together. And then we created Macedom. We sort of created like another band before, and then we all sort of went different ways and learned a lot about music. And then came back together in 2000. Well, oh God, time is not really a thing here. 2018, 16? No, less than that. Ages ago. Anyway, we did a band.
It feels longer ago than that to me.
Yeah, and it's Dave Johnston on the bass, and we've got the amazing Joe Silverstone on cello, and incredible guitarist Aaron Zal, and the most amazing drummer Daisy.
Daisy.
Who's just had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's not here this year, but we've been coming to Shambala year on year for a long time, and it's kind of I don't want to call it New Year's, but it feels like the date or the dates around which our year orbits. Yeah.
So Mesodorm, if you haven't heard Mesodorm yet, please do check it out. Mesadorm.
It's a terrible name for a band.
It's a gorgeous name for a band.
I always have to spell it out.
It's a gorgeous name for a band. What does the word mean, or how did it arise?
Oh yeah, yes. So we were partying in Berlin, and as you do, and it was, I think, very early in the morning, and I was starting to get worried about the fun times were finishing, and I thought I heard someone say, "Oh, it's okay, we're going to go to Macedom next." And then I woke up in the morning or in the afternoon, and no one had said that. So the word stuck in my head as this kind of utopian place. But it's nice because Mesa is like a sort of flat bit on the top of a mountain or a top of a hill. And obviously dormir, sleep. So Sleepy Mountain it became. Yeah, that's it. It's a made-up word, basically.
And what kind of utopia is Mesodorm? what
horrible utopia. It's just a great family, and they're all, I mean, I can't have kids, but everybody else is having babies, and it's so nice because everyone's just, it's like the whole family's just growing, and it's great. I think we actually finally all got our partners and babies together at WOMAD, and there was about 15 of us, and it's just super nice. Yeah, what a beautiful thing. And
you've been through some really different experiences.
I'm not telling you anything about the music. Is that what's going on here?
No, it's fine. You're playing the music, so that's enough. You've been through some really different experiences as an artist, haven't you? Because you've had some time in the kind of pop world as well. I don't know how much you want to talk about that, or I'm really curious to know, because I've never been in that place of like industry, you know, big money, big tours, big ideas. How does that differ from where you are now, and why did you? Because I think it was a very conscious choice, wasn't it, to leave that world behind and do things differently. What was that episode? How do you think about it now?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. So I was in a band called Volts that was fairly big. I mean, not really at all, but we got a big record deal, and it was a lot of pressure and
50 Shades of Grey soundtrack.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I needed to pay some of the money back to the big companies. But yeah, I was very broke at the time, and then I met Ben and Barney, and I started doing some music for them, and then they were like, "Do you want to sing these songs?" And then suddenly there was a big record deal on the table, and I was like, "No, I just want to do Mesodorm. I finally found my sound, and I'm going to do it." And then my sister was like, "You're not giving it a chance. Like, this doesn't come along very often. You should at least give it a go, you know." So I said to them, "It's not really my music, I didn't think, but let's give it a go and I'll try and change it from the inside.
Did you play a part in the writing of the music, or were you singing
No.
other people's songs?
I mean, I did try, but
Yeah.
they weren't really into my stuff.
Too weird.
It was way too weird. I'd be like, hey guys, I've written a song. And they'd be like, they look at me like, yeah, okay, Blythe, that's going to do really well in the charts.
Never going to get on a car advert.
No, we're never going to get a car advert. But I was also in a very anxious place at the time, and it was, I think I really dicked on myself mentally because I was just incredibly anxious, which I didn't realise until I started medication a few years ago, because that was my whole entire existence up until that point, was just existing in this incredibly anxious state, which you don't realise until you're not in that state anymore. Anyway, so I just spent the whole time in that, feeling really awful. And I had very high standards musically, and I felt like I was kind of betraying myself. But now I look back at it, and I'm like, actually, it wasn't too bad, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funded a lot of the Mestorm stuff, so I can't really complain. And we did all the stadiums and all that stuff. So
Did you?
Yeah.
What's the largest crowd you played to?
The O2 Arena.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So what? 3,000? No, even more than that. I've no idea.
It's like, I think it's like 25,000 people.
I don't even think about that kind of space.
Shut up! Come on.
I've never played anywhere
What
like
is
that.
this?
I haven't.
You must have done, surely.
No, not at all.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
If you
I mean,
don't
that's
do
the
that
world
kind
that
of-
we live in, isn't it? There's some amazing musicians who like could play in those spaces, but don't. It's just very odd. The whole industry is very.
I
strange.
could play in that space, but I'd have a little sprinkling of humans in there, and it would be a bit embarrassing.
But they could do lots of
Little
baby.
sprinkling of very enthusiastic people. But we'd be better off in a basement club, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The smaller spaces are just better, basically.
Yeah.
You can't hear yourself in a big. It's very unless you're playing that incredibly like music. It feels really weird to be in a big space like
But you decided to. So you did all the big stadiums. You had these kind of glimpses of the glitter, the glittery side of the music world, but you chose to leave.
Yeah, I did.
What was the moment?
Well, I think me and Ben and Barney just were like, this isn't working, and we just went our separate ways, basically.
Too much unhappiness.
Too much unhappiness, yes. I was just really stressed out, so I just left. I just left London and was like, see you guys. I think they kind of worked it out when I was like, I'm now living in Dorset in in somewhere small. So then it was horrible. It was a terrible thing.
Yeah. Disconnect. Disconnect.
Yeah.
Distance between inside and outside. It's toxic, isn't it? That when what you're living inside is
Some people
so
can do
far
it really
away.
well, and I
Yeah.
couldn't. I
Yeah,
couldn't do it.
I feel that. I can't. No one's ever tried to make me famous. But if they did, I'd have problems.
You are famous. He is famous.
I'm famous in Shambala.
You are.
That'll do. Okay. Blythe, let's have one more song.
One more song.
And then after that, we're going to move on and I'll play a tune on the decks, and then we're going to have an interview and a chat with the amazing Martin Carthy. So please do stick around, lovelies, and give Blythe Pepino one last massive round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been so lovely to chat, hon.
This is the thing, once you start talking about this, now I can really feel it in my nervous system now.
Yeah. What noise do you make to release that shit? Yeah. Can we all do one of those, guys? 1, 2, 3. There you go.
There we go.
New channels have
Everything's
opened.
fine.
Let's go.
Did you capture that for your Instagram account?
Yeah, actually.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm going to play. Oh, yeah. It's also quite cold, isn't it? Huggle up. Yeah, it's nice. What am I going to do? Oh, yeah. This is a song called Obsidian.
afraid of. Well, I tell you, it's no secret. I'm afraid that I build myself so tall, no one will see me when I'm falling. And I'm afraid that I build myself so strong, no one can catch me when I'm falling. The end. And obsidian, a mirror calling. I'm afraid that I build myself so tall, no one will see me when I'm falling. And I'm afraid that I build myself so strong, no one can catch me when I'm falling. I'll be the falling bodies, floor by floor. I wanna ask them now, what were they thinking then? I'll be the falling bodies, floor by floor. I wanna ask them now, what were they thinking then? Any second now, 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 any second
Blythe Pepino, ladies and gentlemen, and all humans between. Thank you so much, hon.
Thank you, Rowan.
What an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Please do follow Blythe's work as Blythe Pepino, as Messador, doing incredible things. Such a big round of applause, big hand of applause for Blythe.
Scan your biscuits.